What's going on, everybody? You're probably confused about that intro and why I'm longboarding all across the town, and it's because, to put it simply, I don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of months. My graduate school plans are changing just about every other day, and so I'm just getting a lay of the land of where I'm going to live in the next month or a month or two. And I thought as I did it, I would talk about this cool thing called the Feynman Technique. Now, the Feynman Technique is all about that experience when we go take a test. We thought we were prepared really well. We thought we knew what we were doing, but in fact, we flunked the test, and it seemed like we didn't know anything. The Feynman Technique tackles that problem. And to put it simply, you can quote Albert Einstein to describe this technique. If you can't describe a concept to a 5-year-old, you really don't understand it. To describe the Feynman Technique another way, it's basically asking questions. If you know in your head, just by rote memorization, that two negative numbers equals a positive number when multiplied together, right? That's great, that's fine. But do you know why that is? Do you know why -2 times -3 equals +6? So asking the question why as you study is really helpful because it gets you down to the core of the concept. Or another thing you could do is, can you visualize the concept? Can you come up with an image that describes the concept you're trying to learn? It can be hard, and it's supposed to feel hard because truly grasping and understanding the concept is hard. It's hard work to do that. Okay, so now it's time to continue looking at different apartments and houses and getting a lay of the land. So let's hit it. Okay, we're back in the car in sweet, glorious air conditioning, and I want to talk about another way you can use the Feynman technique. And before you hate me, hear me out, okay? Science shows that simply throwing up information on a test makes for the worst kind of learning. It makes for the shortest term memory, it makes for the most inflexible memory, just all of it. You're going to forget the stuff you learn if you're learning it just to throw it up onto a test. But if you write about the information, you're creating with the information you learn. And science shows that that is the highest form of understanding. So if you can put terms and definitions into a paragraph, all of a sudden you're creating with the information. And scientifically, that makes the information more flexible. And by that I mean you're going to recall it in several different contexts and situations. If you don't believe me, go read the book Make It Stick, and you'll believe me. Alrighty guys, so as I was editing this video, my finishing thoughts, I realized don't have any audio, which is probably good for you guys because I tend to rant. So to wrap up this conversation about the Feynman technique, I want you to imagine a hammock, right? When a hammock is hooked up to one tree, it doesn't work, right? That's really what memorizing terms and definitions is, right? It's a bunch of information that's not really useful, right? You hook it up to another tree by just maybe going through it in your head instead of just reviewing, right? Then it's a bit more stable. The hammock works, but it still swings back and forth. As you start writing about things or as you start explaining it to people you know, you're setting up more and more anchor points, and the hammock becomes more and more steady. And because of those new anchor points, the information is more easily retrievable. And that's what really flexible information means, right? Because physically in your brain, unless you learn in such a way that connects the information to a bunch of different things you're doing, you won't be able to retrieve it. So writing it, using it in conversation and things like that makes the information flexible. So when you do get to a test question that you didn't expect, you'll nail it. Let's get back to the video. Okay, so I made some B-roll for you guys. So if you want to see a really pretty lake, keep watching.